Welcome to the explanation video for the Your Wave tab on the testing version of No Wasted Days. So over time I've really come to find this view exceptionally valuable because it takes three of the most kind of cyclically influential elements of your diary and your day inputs and maps them together over time, so you can start to see the trends and the patterns in the context of the things you're trying to achieve. So obviously, to break this down in terms of the elements that are in the graph itself, the red line is that feeling score that you put in the top right hand corner. The blue line is the number of tasks that you've completed across a day, so it'll take that comes from all of those little evaluation scores out of 1 that you put and adds them all up. And then it looks, the green line is the percentage of tasks that you've completed of a day. That's really self-explanatory. And then the purple fatter bar is it kind of aggregates those 3 scores, treats them as equal players in the pursuit of joy and progress, and maps them together. So with that in mind, and knowing that they, despite appearing at different levels of the graph, they're all being treated equally, when you see a dip or a growth in the graph, you can, in the big purple No Wasted Days score, you can compare it to the other lines and be like, okay, well, what perhaps contributed to that growth or that dip? Was I less productive? Did I not feel just as good for over a certain period of time? Was I perhaps have a bit less integrity? Did I just do less of the things that I said I was going to do? And that question, and again, this graph, as with all the graphs in the Your Insight page, is less about necessarily, and obviously not an exact rule, but less overall focus is placed on giving you an immediate answer, because an immediate answer is likely to be a bit glib and a bit simple, and obviously less accurate and influential. This is trying to help you ask the best questions in regards to your own habits and your own life that can then unlock, with due energy and time, the most revelatory kind of insights into your habits and things that will unlock hopefully greater feeling and greater productivity and greater integrity in terms of the way you organize and shape every day. It goes without saying, if you need any help interpreting this graph or making sense of your own habits, I am available to help you do that. And this does have really interesting dynamics when you compare it against, and this may be worth another video, when you compare it against the kind of cyclical nature of kind of progress. So I don't know about you, but when I think about progress, I think of it in this kind of like, excuse for how dark this video is, this kind of loop-de-loop, where you've got all this effort and energy and sweat that goes into the finding new conditions and improving yourself and getting better at a task. And then eventually you get to the top, the wave breaks, and you're like, wow, everything that was once difficult suddenly becomes easy. And you get all of that dopamine and all of that joy from having this new skill and you seeing it in the world and whatever. And that lasts a relatively short time until you are back into the grind of finding new places to unlock greater joy or greater skills or whatever. So that loop-de-loop obviously exists in the aggregate across your life, but obviously exists in everything that you ever give time to, because that is constantly, you can always improve and always find a way to drive yourself across the next loop. So that purple line is really that loop-de-loop just mapped across time. You may find it like you understand yourself so clearly and pursue your joy so intimately that you find it wham, it's up in 15 for a bit, But then you're like, okay, well, that's a bit of an awakening. I've clearly established a great relationship with myself as things are right now. How could I unlock some greater productivity, some greater integrity, some greater feeling, some greater altruism, or whatever it is from that next loop? And that will come at a little cost to that line. It will dip down again as maybe you get more ambitious with the tasks that you set yourself, and it's less easy to get 5 every day, or less easy to do 100% of them, or that effort makes a day feel a bit tougher than perhaps another more straightforward day might have felt. But that effort and that dip will have been thoroughly worth it, because you know it's reflected some extra ambition and growth and whatever. So that's why I've called it the wave, because hopefully over time you should see this nice ebbing and up as you can clearly identify whether you need to feel better, do more, or be more integral to get that score to increase. And then when you peak, you're like, okay, well, where's the next opportunities? Like, do I have to be more ambitious and whatever? Like, how can I grow my skills and myself and whatever to constantly pursue that loop? So yeah, lots to say about that graph, and hopefully I'll be able to explain it really clearly over time. Let me know if you need any help, of course, and yeah, let me know how you get on with it, generally speaking.